So far, I've seen a lot of different grant applications with different standards, and I have to say that this is one of the easiest ones I've seen in a while. But the time to apply for this $10,000 grant is coming up fast, so I recommend that you apply as soon as possible. Hello, lovely people. If this is your first time here, welcome. Now, without further ado, let's talk about the $10,000 grant that Venmo is giving to small business owners. Overview of the Venmo grant and who can apply. Now, you'll want to stay with me until the end because I'm going to show you what to expect on the application and give you some tips on how to fill it out. Okay, now Venmo is giving a $10,000 grant to small companies. First of all, I want to tell you that the application date for this grant is August 7. Now, I have to say that this came into my lab, or rather this email account came into my lab just a few days ago. So I couldn't have told you guys about this grant any sooner. You still have a little bit more than a week to apply for this grant, but the good thing is that it doesn't take that long. Compared to other handouts, it does not need a lot of paperwork and other things like that. So if you're watching or listening to this show before August 7, 2023, you should send in your application as soon as possible, which we'll talk about in a moment. Also, just because the date has passed doesn't mean that Venmo isn't still giving out grants. Most grant programs open up once a year or once every 3 months, so you might have to keep checking back. So even if the time has already passed, you should still check the website to see if there might be another great chance. Now, this Venmo grant has pretty easy requirements. But before we talk about that, this time they're giving this $10,000 grant to 20 small business owners. It's pretty easy to meet the requirements. All you need is a Venmo business account with a description of your business, a picture of yourself, and a picture of the scene. That's pretty easy to understand. You can't make more than $50,000 per year and can't have more than 10 workers. Now, I know some of you are surely wondering, okay, but what if I didn't have a Venmo business bank account? Well, the good thing about this grant is that Venmo will actually let you open that business account. Here, it says if you don't have a Venmo business profile yet, you can apply for the Venmo business grant by making one right now. There is no deadline. All you need to do is make one and set up a Venmo business page, and then you can apply for the grant. Tips for funding your business from the bank. Okay, so if you've been following me for a while, you know that I share a lot of business tips, like business credit and business funding tips. And if you are running a business of any kind, you should have a business bank account. If you have a business company, you want to have a business bank account, right? Like a real business organization, like an LLC, a limited liability partnership, or being taxed as an S Corp, etc. It makes no difference. You need a business bank account if you have a real business and are doing business. Now, you might have a business bank account, but you might also have payment companies or use them because it might make your life easier. Let's say you have a business that you run out of your home or you meet with clients and accept payments. A lot of people might just want to swipe their credit cards or, read a code or something like that, right? Many people may use Venmo and many people may also use PayPal. They might just want to swipe or read their credit card. Payment companies like Stripe and Square also come into play here. How to fill out the application for a grant. Now that we've talked about that, let's move on to something else. I love that this grant application doesn't take that long to fill out, you guys. It's not as hard to get as other funds that need a lot of paperwork and other things. Venmo is saying that as long as you have a Venmo business profile, which you can make if you don't already have one. If you don't have one, just make one and make sure that your background profile picture, and a description of your business are all on it, as we talked about above. Now, I've already suggested this before. You can find someone to help you write your background on sites like Fiverr by searching for a writer, storyteller, or something similar. It doesn't have to cost a lot. I think I've said this before, but if you're looking for a grant, you might want to make sure that the amount you're asking for is worth the trouble, right? Now, this is a $10,000 grant, and as you can see, the time and work you put into applying for it was definitely worth it. It isn't very long. They want you to fill out 1, 2, or 3 short paragraphs or articles with no more than 1,500 characters in each. Okay, so this one program is pretty easy, and I would say that spending $10,000 on it is a good investment. They also ask, how do you see the future of your business? And how can Venmo help you reach your goals? So basically, you should just think about where you want to go in the next 3 months, 6 months, and year. You want to be as clear and specific as possible. So if you want to build your clientele by, say, adding another spot or getting more equipment, try to be as clear and specific as possible so that they can really see the big picture, okay? You have to help them see your vision because you know what you know, but you also have to be able to explain it clearly to someone else so they can see and understand where you're trying to go. So be as clear as you can. Here it says, if it applies, tell us how being a member of a historically underrepresented community, like being Black, a woman, Latino, Latinx, etc., may have affected your experience as an entrepreneur. So if you identify with any of these, talk about how it has affected your business experience. Whether it has been good or bad, what problems you have faced in the past, and other similar things, okay? Then you just click Apply after you agree to the rules. That's all there is to it. Now, to apply for this grant, you don't have to buy anything, which is different from some other grants that may ask you to buy something. But you don't have to buy anything for this one. Again, you need to apply by August 7 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You have to be at least 18 years old and have a US Venmo account with a legal business profile. Okay guys, I hope this chance to get a small business award goes well for you. Recap of the video and end. And that's it, you lovely people. I just told you about a chance to get a $10,000 grant from Venmo. And if you'd like to see more grant chances or general business tips or business funding and credit tips from me, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell as well. And that way, you'll be the first to know when I post a new film. As always, feel free to leave a note below if you have any questions for me. Okay, so basically all you need is a real business that has been around for a while and is in good standing. Again, as you can see, this grant has pretty simple standards. Okay, so if you want some money for your business, I really think you should go ahead and apply for the grant. You never know. I always tell people to go into these situations with a hopeful and positive mindset. Because if you go in with a negative mindset, telling yourself that you won't get it or that it won't work for you, then you're already making that happen. Instead, we want to have the opposite attitude and go in with high hopes. As you can see, it's not required that you have a website, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter URL. But I'm guessing that at least one of these would be great so that they can learn more about your business, right? You want to know how many people work there and how much money they make each year. And here it says that they would love to hear about your business, your past, and how you got to where you are now. Now, this shouldn't make you cry too much, right? You want the person reading what you've written to be able to see and feel what you've written, right? So if you don't think you're a good writer or you don't think you're a good writer, that's fine. Just get someone else to help you. Again, if you have pop-up shops or meet with clients, you might want to use a payment processor that makes it easy for you to take funds, which will then go to your business bank account. So when you go to standard banks or business lending alternatives or, business funding companies and stuff like that for more money, they will usually want to see a history of your business bank account, right? So yes, of course, obviously, you want your payments from Stripe, Square, and PayPal to go to your business bank account, okay? Just think about what made you want to start your business. What drove you to start it, where you were before you started your business, where you are now, and how you got there. Now, if you don't think you're a good writer or anything like that, you know that before you fill out this application, you should just make a list of bullet points of what you'd like to say and ask someone to help you, right? Get maybe someone who is good at telling stories to help you write this short essay. They will ask for your first name, last name, business name, and the username for your Venmo business profile. This is needed because, again, you will need it. Your email address, business location, and website. We're just not going to do Cash App. It doesn't help business owners in any way, and it's hard to keep track of things. You can't make invoices or send notes about invoices. It doesn't look as official as using something like PayPal Business, which I also recommend. But you can also use Venmo, which a lot of people like because it is easy to use.